This is Keep On Cooking, a podcast for people who love cookbooks and want to know more about the authors. It's also a great place to get a weekly dose of culinary inspiration to keep things pumping in the kitchen. So grab a cookbook and keep on cooking. I'm Dustin Harder, and this is Keep On Cooking. Hello and welcome to Keep On Cooking, the only podcast dedicated to plant-based cookbooks. I'm your host, Dustin Harder, and we're like the ghost of Christmas chaos, haunting your holiday with bad advice and terrible jokes. Please welcome today's co-host, my husband, Mr. Rossetti, and I have one question for you, dear. Why is the carpet wet, Todd?
I don't know, Margot.
And we're off. Welcome to the Keep On Cooking Christmas special, everybody.
Yes, it's our favorite time of year. The accessories are out, the tree is up, and we look forward to recording this special every year.
Yeah, we do. And I think just the idea that we have our own little corner of the world with which we can tag the words Christmas special to is really fun for us.
It does.
I think it's like our second or no, we've done two. I think it's our third one.
Third one.
Maybe fourth, but I think third.
But
I think third.
We can call it a Christmas special like it was like
yeah,
a TV special.
Yeah.
Now, usually we go through a list of books that can help you with holiday cooking. But if you have been listening, you know Dustin did a deep dive for you this year into some books that are most used by vegans for holiday cooking.
That's right. You can listen to episodes featuring Vegan Celebrations by Alicia Simpson, Super Fun Times Vegan Holiday Cookbook by Isa Chandra Moskowitz, and Vegan Holiday Kitchen by Nava Atlas, and Vegan Christmas by Gaz Oakley. So if you want to get an in-depth look at any of those books, I have peeled through each of them for you so you can decide if any of them might offer you what you need for your holiday cooking. I'm actually going to make the chocolate and citrus cake from Nava Atlas's Vegan Holiday Kitchen. I'm very much looking forward to making that recipe. And as we've discussed many times, we make those rosemary chili, smoked chili rosemary rolls from Gaz Oakley's Vegan Christmas.
Every Christmas.
Now, if I had to pick one of those books, like if I had to pick one of those as my holiday book, it's down to two for me. Super Fun Times Vegan Holiday Cookbook by Isa Chandra Moskowitz or Vegan Holiday Kitchen by Nava Atlas. I love all four of those.
Yeah.
But it really is down to the two of those for me. If you want to go for quantity and quality, but Super Fun Times Vegan Holiday Cookbook probably has the most recipes. And maybe like a little more twists and turns in it. Vegan Holiday Kitchen has a lot of traditional options in it. Also quality is great. Quality on all of those are great. So anyways, I think if I had it, I can't choose between the Nava one and the Isa one. It's one of those two. So you decide for yourself.
Nava Isa. Put it in a hat and pick it out.
Yeah.
Well, we are recording this at the beginning of December, and I know you sort of have meals planned out for Christmas because you are spending a substantial time in Michigan with our family before Christmas this year. What's our Christmas menu looking like this year, babe?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you asked. And yes, I'm spending a lot of the holiday season in Michigan with my family, which is going to be like new and exciting. How different, how fun, how exciting. Of course, on Christmas Eve, babe, you're going to be there. We're going to make our festive cheesy spinach bread. How long have we been making this now?
Every Christmas.
Every Christmas.
Every Christmas.
Every Christmas. I mean, really, I think
just as fast as your wrist will allow.
That's what movie? Christmas movie? Where this is also the Christmas quote
Christmas quote episode. It's gonna be.
I'm so ashamed. The Family Stone. If anybody's wondering, those last two quotes. I'm not ashamed of anything, but Sarah Jessica Parker is ashamed in the Family Stone.
Smelling soap.
How long have we been making that bread? Legit. Genuine.
Probably like. Well, when did the book come out?
I made it probably 2 years before it went into the book even. So the book
like
came out in 2018. I mean, like probably 7 or 8 years. Because like we made it. I remember taking it to Trisha Tangai's Christmas Eve party. We took 2, thank God, because it was gone immediately. And that's when we learned to always take 2. So this bread is shaped like a tree. And it's loaded with spinach, garlic, a little vegan cheese, and also a little cashew mixture, so that when you pull the branches off the tree, it's all ooey gooey and absolutely delicious. It's shaped like a tree. You can make the dough from scratch, but you can also get just pizza dough from the store and roll it out and that's what we do now. We don't deal with because we're making the rolls from scratch. We're doing a lot of stuff from scratch, but this is like, yeah. And we will take this to my cousins this year, and we will make 2 of them because, again, as we've learned, it's like the first thing to go. Everyone always wants more, and we just serve this with a little side of marinara. That's all.
A little marinara, a little sauce, as they say, a little sauce.
Sauce on the side.
Now, listeners, we tell you about this recipe because you can actually make it for yourself.
Yeah.
What? It's available in 2 places. 2 places. That's not how you say places, but you can get it. You can get it on the Keep on Cookin blog at keeponcookin.com under the appetizer section, or you can, if you have the first epic vegan book, it is in chapter 3, page 59. You will find the festive cheesy spinach bread.
Yes, that's right. I'll never forget one. So Ashley Madden, who's been on the podcast a couple of times, obviously. Friend of the pod, dear family friend of ours. We are family. She's my culinary sister. She did the photography for Epic Vegan, and her mom helped her like make a lot of the recipes. And she was in Canada doing the photo shoot. And she was like, "What do I do with the sausage and the bread?" And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And like 2 recipes that got stuck together. And her mom was like, "It says right here, the sausage goes on the bread." And I was like, "Actually, I don't know what you're talking about." And she's like, "Never mind, we figured it out. There's no sausage in it. There's no sausage in it. Also, it would be vegan sausage, but anyway."
Yep.
Well, listen, again, you can get that recipe, and I highly recommend you do. It has been a favorite for years. You can get it for free right now at keeponcooking.com or in my book, Epic Vegan. And I want to also mention the cashew base. If you're avoiding a nut allergy, you could use sunflower seeds in place of the cashews, or it's a small amount. I think you could even use like a half cup store-bought vegan sour cream in place of the cashew mixture. I would just add some maybe like garlic powder to that sour cream. And I'm navigating a nut allergy this year, so I'm actually going to use a little bit of the fondue I'm making from the Herbivorous Butcher cookbook in place of the cashew mixture, so you have options. That fondue is a soy and coconut base, and I found out we do not have a coconut allergy to worry about, so I'm going to use a little bit of that fondue mixture. So it's going to have a little different taste this year, babe, but it'll be good. So if you're worried about a nut allergy, if you're not worried about a nut allergy, you can proceed as is, and if you are, those are some options for you.
Now you mentioned that fondue. Are you making just that for the bread, or is there another reason?
Oh, well, of course. You and I will make our smoked chili and rosemary rolls from Gaz Oakley's Christmas book, which I've mentioned 7,000 times in the last 6 episodes. So if you're not making them this season and you listen to this podcast, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what you're doing.
We'll take those to the dinner we were doing with my mom and my 2 aunts. So I'm making that fondue actually in place of the Gaz recipe because his makes a rather small amount, and this fondue makes a large batch. So I'll use it for the rolls and also Christmas Day for the roasted potatoes. So I'm going to make that Herbivorous Butcher fondue and use it for different things within the Christmas landscape those few days,
which
basically.
Great.
But the rolls, really, y'all, it's like Gaz gives you this tiny fondue recipe for like, I mean, it makes like, we half the recipe now and we still get like 24 rolls. It makes a lot of rolls, and he gives you like literally like a half cup of fondue. I'm like, I don't know what his friends and family do when fondue comes out, but a half cup ain't gonna do it, babes.
No, babes. That ain't it. All right, so then we move on to lunch with the aunts, and I love this lunch, and we've been able to do it one other time.
Yeah, my mom and her 2 sisters, Aunt Sharon and Aunt Selma, love yes.
Featured in the cookbook as the 3 sisters.
Oh yeah, the 3 sisters, which, you know, I'm not making that for Christmas, and that's what it was. I should probably make that. Well, I didn't because I was doing the fondue, so now it's anyway. Right. Well, we should mention that though. In the book Epic Vegan Quick and Easy, there's a Little Sisters, I think it's called Little Sisters potato casserole, and it's literally like potatoes, sour cream, cheese. It is like the most unhealthy Midwest casserole, but like it would pop up at like holiday functions when I was a kid. So I called it the Little Sisters casserole and put it in there. So maybe I will make it for Christmas Day. Anyway, we're doing this lunch with them because they get together every year, my mom and her two sisters, and they get together for a little Christmas lunch together and they exchange presents. And like I think 4 or 5 years ago, you and I were there and
Yeah.
we were like,
It was very cute.
hey, I guess it would have been like 3 years ago, maybe. Anyways, we were like, hey, can David and I actually make the three of you lunch instead of you going out? And it was just like the sweetest afternoon where, because normally David and I get to see our aunts and like all the cousins are there, all the grandkids
Which
are
is
there.
fine, but
It's
it's like you
fine,
don't get
great.
like kind of dedicated
Yeah, we
time,
don't get
and
one-on-one
they're
time with them.
so sweet.
They're so lovely. So we're very excited to do it again this
And
year.
it snowed last year. I
It
remember
did snow
that.
the
It was
last time,
very
and Mr.
picturesque.
Benson was, yes, we took pictures of Mr. Benson. It was
We
Mr.
did.
Benson's first snow, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
I think so.
Well, we're gonna make a last time we made a bit of a heavy lunch. We did a lasagna and a salad, and then I can't remember what we did for dessert. Oh, like little mini individual
That's
bun
right.
cakes.
Yep.
So this year we're gonna keep it light. We're gonna do, and they all loved it, but they were like, okay, we're very full. Um, so this year we're gonna do a butternut squash soup. I think there's one actually in Nava Atlas's vegan holiday kitchen that I'm gonna cook from because I just think I'm always kind of like people suggest butternut squash soup during the holidays, and I'm like, yeah, but when really? Like you're not serving that at Christmas Eve dinner or Christmas Day. I don't think. Have you
Yeah,
ever had
no.
soup with like?
Not like with like a dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this will be nice. This will be like our little Christmas lunch the
Lunch.
day before Christmas Eve. So we'll have butternut squash soup, and I'm thinking something like butternuts and apples to make it like sweet, yummy. And then a Christmas salad. So this is just going to be like a red and green salad with some homemade croutons and a cranberry dressing. Actually, this salad. So this is the winter salad. I should be telling you more about it because it's available for you to make right
Oh,
now.
that's right. Yep.
On keeponcooking.com. So it's the winter salad. It's got kale. It's got roasted butternut squash. It's got seared Brussels sprout shavings. And then it's got some pomegranate seeds and some beets in there, some shredded beets in there, like all the delicious, yummy vegetables you want. Hearty. And then it's going to be tossed with a delicious creamy tahini cranberry dressing. So good. And then topped with our favorite, some homemade croutons. I've actually had this recipe for homemade croutons for years, and I finally just put it up on Keep on Cooking so y'all can have it for yourself at home. They're buttery, they're cheesy, they're delicious, and that is the winter salad.
Sometimes those croutons don't make it to the salad.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard for us to put them on the salad because we just want to eat them.
Let me just test one.
And another one, and another one. Well, that one doesn't look like it got cooked all the way through. I should eat it and put it out of its misery.
Delicious.
So that winter salad is up there for you to check out. We'll be making that for my aunts this year. And then we've got a chocolate mousse I'm gonna make, and this is a PCRM recipe. It's a chocolate raspberry mousse. It's made with tofu and raspberries, super light, super easy to make, and a nice light dessert, I think, for my aunts to have. I should mention about butternut squash soup. I do have a chipotle butternut squash soup on keeponcooking.com. If you want a squash soup that's got a little kick to it. Yeah, that'll hook you up. So there's some recipes. I didn't realize all those can be up on keeponcooking.com. You got a butternut squash soup on keeponcooking.com. We'll put all the links below too. You got that winter salad with all those amazing vegetables and that delicious cranberry tahini dressing and those croutons. That's going to be up at keeponcooking.com. And the chocolate mousse you can actually get at pcrm.org, but I'll put that link in there for you. Now, I won't be the only one cooking. I am leaving baking to you this year, my dear. I'm determined not to bake this year. I know I always break that rule for myself, but I think with all the traveling and meals I have planned, I'm excited to leave the baking to you. So what are you going to make?
Well, the cookie that I've become known for. So my family is a pretty big, like, there's a time where like you start baking. Like my mom would do, like, she was big on like the candied pecans. She was big on pizzelles, and I'll do those. But what I'm kind of known for in my family is these raspberry thumbprint cookies, like shortbread thumbprints. And I just love like almond flavor in like a cookie, and then the raspberry, and then I'll usually add a little bit of lemon to the glaze on top, which I think just gives it just like a little
little refreshing pop of citrus.
Little pop. So I love that. And then I'm on the hunt for, I would love a vintage pizzelle maker.
Have you checked eBay?
I have. Some are a little pricier than I would.
Well, I was gonna get you one before, but everyone I found, I feel like I showed you, and you were like, "No, that's not it." So then I decided to like leave it in your court.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Well, no, I'm just.
I kind of want to.
It was a gift I wanted to get you, and it's
Oh.
like I can't because I'm really worried I'll get the wrong one.
Yeah. Well, and I'm still figuring out like exactly what I want, but I think I want something like vintage. I think.
So now, when you fly to Michigan and I pick you up at the airport, can I expect you to have a container of cookies for me? Is my
Duh,
question.
of course.
Fantastic. I'm not going to worry
And
about it
then
this year.
I
then.
might try. I looked up these Italian wedding cookies, but just like a vegan version. And then I have been wanting to. There is a very famous recipe that my mom and sister both make, are these black bottom cupcakes that have vegan cream cheese. I am still in the fight.
What's the fight?
The fight is, depending on the brand of cream cheese, they can sometimes, when you cook it, the cream cheese can do weird things.
Yeah, the vegan cream cheeses are not they're not equality across the board.
But they're
Like,
and it depends on what they're made of.
one vegan cream cheese is not like the other. Yeah, there's a
Correct.
nut base, a soy base, a coconut base. The coconut based ones, I tell you, those just melt like butter. So like,
Yeah.
don't even try to use those in your
Yeah.
baking.
So I they tasted fine.
You did the tofutti before. You tried
I
that,
did
right?
the
Yeah.
tofutti, and that didn't quite work. So I don't know. I think I might need to do like a little science experiment with like a couple different ones and see what's the best,
I love that.
because I do love those.
So you're gonna do pizzelles,
Pizzelles.
Italian wedding cookies, black bottom cupcakes. This is the year you're gonna nail it. I know it, babe. It's gonna happen. And your raspberry shortbread thumbprint cookies. Yeah.
Well, and then
What?
there's one that you can't stop thinking about.
Well, I know, but as you're listing all these, I'm thinking then, well, if he's not gonna do sugar cookies, then I should probably do. See, like, I'm just a mess. But then I don't. If I make the sugar cookies, I'm really making them for myself. Because my mom will have made her sugar cookies and nobody else cares if mine are vegan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I will be like, well, I made these. I have to eat them. So I think it's just smart for me not to make them. So, but there is one that I can't stop thinking about. It's Cheryl's Sunday cookie. This was a cookie that our family friend Cheryl used to make, and I veganized it, and everyone loves it. They love my version as much as they love Cheryl's version. I'm just thrilled that people over the years have embraced this cookie the way they have. It is a puffy chocolate cookie topped with half a marshmallow. Halfway through baking, you put that marshmallow on, it puffs up a little bit, and then it's cooled, and you top that with a chocolate ganache and a half of a maraschino cherry, and there you have it. It's your chocolate sundae cookie.
That's so good and looks so cute.
It looks so cute. And if you recall, when I was on the Girl Scout Cookie Championship on Food Network, this sort of inspired. I made a chocolate sundae cupcake.
Yep, that's right.
And this was that was inspired by this. So this has had lots of inspired us in many ways. And I'm not sure how these became a Christmas cookie, other than Cheryl would make them for Christmas when we were kids. But now they're a Christmas must. So I may find myself making those after a while, because she doesn't make them anymore. And even if she is, she's not making them vegan. So I might as well make them.
You might as well make them.
Those, what else should I make? Those, and that's kind of like
I think that's great.
I know, but I'm not gonna have sugar cookies then.
He's gonna be making sugar cookies.
I wonder if there's a place I can find vegan sugar cookies made already.
I mean, good luck.
Maybe I'll just order some online.
I say good luck.
Anyways, go ahead, David.
No, I'm saying, I was just going to tell the listeners that all the cookies that we are talking about are available on keeponcookin.com.
Yes.
Just go to the dessert section. You can find a treasure trove of these cookies to make for your festivities this year. We will include a few of our favorites in the show notes, like the thumbprint cookies, Cheryl's Sunday cookies, and Butterfinger Bite.
Oh gosh, the Butterfinger Bite, so good. Like, it's like a Butterfinger bar in truffle form.
It's so good.
Well, I think the only other thing to talk about that we'll be making is Christmas Day brunch, but now I can't stop thinking about cookies. So listen, we're gonna put, like David said, we're gonna put links to all those cookies so you can get those recipes. And we'll probably do a Christmas cookie roundup post where all the links are available in one post as well, because I think I've got at least 12 cookies to put on keeponcookin.com.
And share yours with us.
Yeah, sure. Slide into that cookie. Keep on Cooking DMs and share the recipe with me, or just post, when you post pictures of your Christmas cookies, please tag at Keep On Cooking Pod. We would love to see what you're making.
Love it.
Your Christmas cookies, come and taste my Christmas cookies.
We're both.
In my loving, RuPaul Christmas albums are pretty good. Yep. Not gonna lie. Actually, 2 of them out of the like 22 he's done. Anyway, okay, so the menu we have left to talk about is Christmas Day brunch. We sort of worked on this together.
The main event. Yep.
Because without you, there would not be this beautiful idea for cranberry cinnamon rolls with citrus glaze, bebe.
Come on, that sounds real good,
Oh my
right?
gosh, this is gonna be so good. A soft and chewy, delicious
Like
cinnamon roll with like a cranberry jam relish on the inside, and then topped with a orange citrus glaze.
Drool,
Come
drool, drool.
on. And then this is where I'm gonna stick to my plan. I'm not gonna do the Three Sisters casserole because the casserole I tried to make things that could like not have to like stay because everyone's not coming over at the same time. So I want
You
it
gotta,
I want
yep,
them to be able to like grab things. So I'm gonna do roasted potatoes, which should be hot, right?
yep.
But they can like easily pop that in the microwave, like whatever. Or I can keep the roasted potatoes like in a warmer or something. But I'm gonna do my fondue on the side, and the reason I'm doing the fondue too is because I have like too many crock pots I got
Yes,
that are
you
like specifically for
love a mini crock
I
pot.
do. I put our gravy in it for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to put this fondue in there so it stays warm. And that way people can just dip the fondue, put it over the potatoes, and they're going to just like ooh and ah over that fondue as well, which is another reason I want to make it. And ultimately, it's a heck of a lot healthier than that potato casserole.
Sure.
And then I'm going to do a straight up Caesar salad with
Mhm.
pomegranate seeds and shiitake bacon
Shiitake bacon.
because everyone loves all that
Game
stuff.
changer.
Yeah.
Game changer.
And I have to tell everyone, I had to have like a conversation with my mom because, and again, we've talked about this on this podcast where I go in trying to make like the things we need to eat, but then I end up making like more because I'm like, well, I want everyone to try it. But then my mom still makes all of the non-vegan versions of everything. So I called her, I said, hey, listen, mom, Christmas Day this year, can I just like handle the food? And she like no hesitation was like, yeah, whatever you want to do. And I was like, no, like I'm saying I need you to not make the other food because then we just have so much food. And she's like, totally, it's all you. So this is great. The last thing I'm making is mini just egg quiches. And there's a recipe for this on justegg.com, and I'll include it in the show notes for you as well so that you have the recipe to that. But it's really easy. It's just their product. I'm going to do it with the phyllo dough, I think. So that you have a little tart like pouch to it.
Pastry, little pouch.
Pastry, a little pastry pouch to it. Or cup, I should say, a little pastry cup for the quiches. I'm going to keep them warm in a crock pot. So, and I'm gonna put sausage in them and broccoli and red peppers.
Red peppers.
So it's red and green,
Red
and then a
green
little bit of
peppers.
sausage.
I love it.
That's good, right?
I love it.
And that's gonna be the brunch, and I think that's
Well,
great. I kind of had to like stop myself there.
Yes, but oh my gosh,
What?
what about the cake for Christmas Eve?
Oh, speaking of cake, I was gonna do that one cake. I don't need a cake if we've got
You don't need a
cinnamon
cake.
rolls.
No.
Fudge, but I want to make that bundt cake. Maybe I'll do the bundt cake for Aunt Selma and Aunt Char instead of the mousse.
Sure.
Okay, we're working through this. Okay,
It's changed a
the
few
cake.
times.
Well, the cake for Christmas Eve though. So
Okay,
I'm
let's
gonna
talk about
take the along with the festive cheesy spinach bread, and I don't have a recipe for this. Everyone, sorry. I'm going to make my peppermint chocolate. Well, I want to do 2 or 3 layers this year. Probably 2. Yeah.
Let's keep it easy with the 2.
I mean,
you can do 3.
Yeah. Judgy my judgy
Just
over
saying.
here. Okay, so it's chocolate cake with peppermint extract instead of vanilla extract, and then it is with a peppermint buttercream frosting with crushed up vegan candy canes along the side, and then piped with red and white frosting, so that you got little candy cane swirls on the top. And I use a vegan brand of like all natural food coloring. I can't remember the name right now, everyone. I'm sorry, but if you look up online natural food coloring, you'll have some different options that come up for you if that's a thing for you. So I'm really excited about this cake because we've done this cake. We did it at our friend Emily's at the Grannies 2 years ago, and then a couple years before that we actually did a gingerbread cake with candied cranberries on it, which was also yummy.
That was very delicious.
I just feel like
I felt like people lost their mind over the chocolate peppermint.
They did, yeah,
and they like still talk about it.
Yes, well, because Kevin, our friend Kevin in that home, usually does a peppermint ice cream every year. Did he do it that year? I feel like I remember it not happening.
I don't think.
And then I felt really good about having the
something pepperminty.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the plan. I'm really excited about this cake. It's a fun showstopper for sure, especially for Christmas Eve. So it was lovely. It's extra. The cake is extra. And here's the deal.
So are we.
Yeah, so are we. Every year. Like already as I'm gearing up for this, I've just like we just did our Christmas cards and like we ordered 40 more than we usually do. And we just did there was something else where I was like, "Oh, this feels extra." And I was like, "Cuz it is." And that's okay because it's Christmas. And I just saw this y'all know I love that Martha Stewart documentary. I just saw this clip of her where someone says, "Martha, what advice do you have for someone trying to be zen over the holidays?" And she was like, "Zen? Why be zen?" She's like, "Zen is boring. Be exciting. Be different. Do 4 Christmas trees instead of 1. Don't be zen."
Don't be zen.
And I am leaning into that.
Let's do it.
Leaning into it.
Martha vibes only. And then well, that is a look at the things we're making this season. So that kind of caps us off on our plans. So thank you for handling all of that. You're incredible.
With pleasure.
And a little of what will be on our Christmas plates. But we wanted to share a fun idea that with you that was a home run with my family last year. It seems simple, but it's a great way to impress non-vegan family members is to just offer them a hot chocolate.
Oh my gosh, that's right. So do you remember how this went down?
I do.
Was it Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Christmas Day.
So I said to all the children running around, would anyone like a hot chocolate?
Which we had like 2 young children and then
teenagers.
And then some early teens or like, yeah.
Listen, everybody said no. So I said, okay, this is more for me and David. Listen, I made David and I the most beautiful hot chocolates ever. It was hot chocolate piled with marshmallows, whipped cream, Christmas sprinkles, and then there was a spoon in it that was a candy cane that melted. So like when I'm telling you we did Christmas Day hot chocolate, it was no joke. And then we brought them out, we started sipping on it. And one by one, everybody was like, "Well, maybe I do want
it
one."
looked so beautiful. There was like, it was like the picturesque like hot chocolate, and I was like, "I guess I'll.
Yeah.
Can I have one?"
Yeah.
And literally, I think everybody ended up having one.
Yes, everyone ended up having one, and someone was like, "Can I just have a little one?" And I'm like, "That's not a thing.
That's not it.
Martha vibes only. We're not being zen here. We're being extra. You get extra. If you don't want to finish it, you don't finish it. But the thing about the hot chocolate, I think we need to talk about like, when do you offer it? Like, when is a good time for that? I felt Christmas Day was good, but like, no matter what, there's so much food. There's never really a good time for hot chocolate, even though it's this celebrated holiday thing. Because one, I feel like it's very heavy. Yeah. Two, the chocolate keeps you up if you drink it later at night.
Right. So it's like maybe the Christmas movie. I was gonna say maybe like the Christmas movie at night. If you're watching it with family, that might be a good time. But like also then you're like zing.
Right, because we're gonna offer it. So what we're gonna do this year is we are gonna do. I know I said no mini versions, but we're gonna get the 4-ounce 4-ounce disposable espresso cups.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take like a crock pot of hot chocolate over to my cousin's, and we're just gonna have like mini versions available because those spoons are small. They'll still look really cute in there.
Yep.
So that you're kind of getting like a little sip of hot chocolate instead of like a big old doozy of a hot chocolate.
Right.
You know,
it is just melted chocolate.
It's delicious too. It's so
delicious.
Good. So think about when to offer it. Yeah. The goal with this is you want to build a beautiful hot chocolate. It's not just about hot chocolate in a cup. It really is about how it looks, like creating a mountain on top with this red and green sprinkles and like the candy
marshmallows.
Cane spoon.
Get the Dandy's peppermint mini marshmallows.
Yes. I gotta order all that. Think about it right now. And then batch make it. So make a big pot of it if you're gonna make it. If someone's like, "Oh, and that's what I did." David and I were like, "Oh, we're the only ones." The minute another person was like, "Oh, I want one," I made a huge pot of it because I was like, "Well, this is the way this is gonna go now." Yep. And those candy cane spoons are really super cute and they melt in the cup, so that's fun too. It's very cute. Really like those. I gotta order all this stuff as we're talking about it.
As we're speaking of. Well, speaking of ordering,
we should get into the gift giving of it all,
We should. And this year we really are giving a condensed list of some of our favorite books that we think make excellent gifts for veteran vegans looking to up their game or get re-inspired in the kitchen, or for those that are just starting out on their vegan journey.
Yes, and even those that might just be curious about incorporating more plant-based recipes into their life. So this is our list of top 10 vegan cookbooks we think can make great Christmas gifts this year. So I'm actually going to add one because it is not on the list and I kind of feel like it should be. And I looked at my shelf and I was like, wait, I'm pulling it down right now to make sure. We've had them on the podcast. I recommend this every year and I love this book. I use it throughout the year, truly. So we're going to do a bonus book here. That's Mocktail Party. 75 plant-based non-alcoholic recipes for every occasion. This is by Carrie Benson and Diana LaCalzi. And really, we make the margarita out of here. We make a mocktail mule out of here. We've made sangria out of here. We've made a shamrock shake out of here. We make so many. There's a delicious mimosa that's just made with sparkling water and ginger and orange juice. There's really so many great cocktails that are really easy to make in here. Mocktails, I mean, that are really easy to make in here. And it's great for someone who isn't drinking alcohol, or even for someone who is drinking alcohol that's looking to just like decrease their alcohol consumption and maybe have some other options. And it's like a fun size of a book, and the front's all like really like shiny and glittery too. So it's just like, it's a great book. They did a really good job on it, and they are on the podcast. I don't know what number that episode is, but if you want to get a deeper look into Mocktail Party by Carrie Benson and Diana LaCalzi, you can always listen to the episode. And then that takes us to number 10. So we just had them on the podcast, and I was reminded how fabulous this book is and how much of a place it has taken in sort of the vegan thread of Americana. Veganomicon by Isa Chandra Moskowitz and Terry Hope Romero remains a staple to this day. I think I got it for Christmas originally from our friends Rachel Spadero and MK Flint. They got it for me. It might have just been Rachel. Either way, we were all in that Annie family together there. But got me the book Veganomicon way back in like 2012. And it's just loaded with, having them on, hearing them talk about the book, I realized like, oh, it's special because there were no like, we've entered this world with vegan cookbooks where everybody, all publishers go, well, how can we make it easy for everyone? Everyone wants to know how they can make it quick, how they can make it easy. Even Issa is about to release a 30-minute cookbook. So in all this time Issa's been doing cookbooks, she hasn't done that yet. And now finally she's about to release, a quick meals in 30 minutes. Like, we've all been sort of put in that corner. With my book, Epic Vegan Quick and Easy, it came about because the publisher was like, we want to do another one, but it has to be quick and easy. Like, everyone was holding on to those buzzwords. And talking to them about Veganomicon, I was like, oh, they weren't in that corner yet. Nobody was pushing them in that corner, and they were being inventive, and they were experimenting with things, and they were going to the grocery store and finding ingredients that like weren't necessarily easy to find. There's lots of easy to do recipes in there that are approachable, but then there's lots of other ones that like get kind of chefy and like adventurous when it comes to ingredients. So it's a really great book to have for someone who is really excited about diving into vegan food, or even someone who just needs to like get their brain going again in the kitchen. I have found a new love for Veganomicon since having them on. So that's number 10, Veganomicon.
That's great. Yeah, it's a classic in the vegan world for sure. Number 9, we have The Homemade Vegan Pantry by the Queen, Miyoko Shinner. She is a queen. In this, you learn how to make her butter, yogurt, mouthwatering granola. Plus, she has a couple kind of DIY shortcuts with like a Bisquick like pancake mix and like a DIY box cake mix, which you can use to make brownies. So it's got a lot of her the stuff you've been wanting from Miyoko, and it's finally in this book.
Well, and it's got the barbecue ribs that you and unribs, as she calls them, the barbecue unribs that we've made I don't know, so many years in a row now for the 4th of
which
July.
are a couple steps, but they are worth it.
Well, I mean, it's worth it. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. We love those unribs. So yeah, Homemade Vegan Pantry is number 9 by Miyoko Shinner. Well, that takes us into number 8, Chloe Flavor by Chloe Coscarelli. The front of the book says it all: saucy, crispy, spicy, vegan. You all know Chloe and love her. You've loved her for years. She has such a talent at making her insanely delicious and flavorful recipes approachable for the home cook in her cookbooks. And this book is no difference. There's 3 books before that: Chloe's Kitchen, Chloe's Vegan Desserts, and Chloe's Italian Kitchen. And then she came out with Chloe Flavor. And you could really get any of those. What I love about Chloe Flavor is it's the latest. So we're getting her evolved as a chef, but it's also this beautiful hardcover book that giving as a gift is just so special. All these books we've mentioned so far are hardcover. Miyoko's book, Issa's book, and the Mocktail book, all hardcover. And those to me always make such a, I don't know, there's something about that. You get that under the tree, like this hardcover book, you unwrap it, and it just feels so substantial. And the recipes in here cover the gamut, all the things you want, breakfast items, main dishes, lots of pasta and noodle recipes, which I love, love, love. Lots of great desserts. I turn to the birthday cake in this book all the time. I have my own birthday cake recipes, and I still turn to the Chloe recipes.
It's true.
Because I love them so much. So Chloe Flavor by Chloe Coscarelli is number 8.
Great. And number 7, we've got the Veg Bar Book by Kate Jacoby and Rich Landau. You just had them on the pod. So obviously the bar book, great cocktails are a big cornerstone of this book, but don't miss out on the tasty, delicious bites that they have, including their famous rutabaga fondue, which is a must. It's served with like a soft pretzel.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes,
everything.
yes.
But the secret is finally out in this book, but they've also got creative cocktails to kind of pair with their bites.
Yeah, and they give you pairing suggestions in it. And the rutabaga fondue, I got to tell you, I asked Rich for years, for the last decade. I was like, Rich, can I have this? Like casually in emails as we'd be corresponding, I'd be like, yeah, by the way, I saw that wasn't in the veg book. If you want to send that my way. And like he would just send me an email answering everything else and never that. So when he did this, I was like, thank you so much, finally. Because I love that rutabaga fondue so much, and we've made it already, and it is delicious, delicious as it is at Veg. So many great cocktails in here, and I love them because a conversation with them, if you go back and listen to the episode, is like a masterclass. And they're so thoughtful and creative and inventive, and they are really thinking about when they transfer their restaurant food over to books, how to make it accessible and approachable for the home cook, while also challenging you. Like they want you to learn things in the kitchen, and that bar book is no different. That bar book is the perfect gift for anyone who loves making cocktails. It will force them to elevate their game and make cocktails that are truly memorable and exciting for people when they take them into any gathering. So super exciting. Love the Veg Bar book. Number 6 is the Complete Vegan Cookbook. So listen, this is a collection of recipes from the Natural Gourmet Institute, where I was a student. That was my culinary school. That program is now part of the ICE Institute of Culinary Education curriculum. But as that transition was happening, they wrote this book, the Natural Gourmet Institute, the Complete Vegan Cookbook, and it is a really great guide into the fundamentals of vegan cooking. I was surprised they called it the Complete Vegan Cookbook because the school itself actually was not all vegan. We did 80% vegan. There was a little dairy, and then there would be a thing called Meat Week, which I totally skipped. I went for the first couple days, and then I freaked out and was like, I'm not doing this. But they offer all their vegan recipes in here. And I was so surprised they called it Complete Vegan Cookbook. But when I open it and look at it and read it, I'm like, oh gosh, this is all of those amazing vegan recipes we worked on that have been part of their curriculum for 40 plus years, I think. So it's really exciting to have them in one book. And it really is a great tool for someone just learning vegan cooking. It's healthful vegan cooking, but elevated. So it's not healthful, no flavor, bland, hippie vegan cooking. It's healthful, elevated vegan cooking. It is delicious. I love that book, The Complete Vegan Cookbook. We also covered it on the Keep on Cooking podcast, so you can check out the episode of it if you want to hear more about that as well.
Great. And that was number 6. We're now at 5 with Bread, B-R-E-D, by Ed and Natasha Tatton. Great book with some amazing step-by-step breakdowns of the whole process. It's a beautiful book.
Well, yeah, the whole process start to finish. They do the sourdough bread. Woo!
Sourdough bread, which is a journey. And it's a gorgeous book for anybody who loves bread or is interested in making bread or
it's a hefty book too. Hefty. So again, another one of those ones where it's a great gift to give. You just feel so good giving it to somebody, especially someone who's interested in bread. You're like, here's this beautiful book on making vegan bread. There's also variations of there's cookies and stuff in there, bars. They have a cafe where they sell all this stuff in Vancouver, I believe. And they were also on Keep on Cooking, so you can go back and listen to BRED Bread episode with Ed and Natasha Tatton. They were on here to talk all about it. There's a delicious gluten-free chickpea cookie. Do you remember that?
Right. Yeah,
oh,
that was
so
really
good. Chickpea or tahini cookie? I think chickpea cookie. It's both things, but
right.
Anyways, it's in the gluten-free. If you look up gluten-free, it'll be there. Number 4 is Sweet and Salty by Lagusta Yearwood. So this is the owner, operator, founder of Lagusta's Luscious. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
And this book, hands down, one of my favorite gifts to give at Christmas. It's full of all their candy recipes, their
Mhm.
chocolate recipes, their popular tahini meltaways.
Yep.
We did a strawberry fizzle candy once from
We
there.
did.
It turned out okay. It's one of those ones that needs a little practice. The recipe's great. It was my bad. I'm
Well,
impatient.
there's a lot of like classic recipes, but there's also some that are like kind of challenging or kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like we were putting stuff inside like the
Yeah,
candy
inside
to
the
make it
candy to make it
fizzy.
fizz
Yeah.
like a Sweet and Salty by Legusta Yearwood. For anyone interested in artisan candy making and chocolate making, fantastic book. Love it, love it, love it. Also, she was on the podcast. You can go listen to that episode, Sweet
Yep.
and Salty with Legusta Yearwood.
Yep, love that. And then so that we're at number 3, The Peaceful Kitchen by Catherine Perez. So this one has like a unique point of view, as the author is a registered dietitian.
Mhm.
And then she has some inspirations from Mexican and Dominican dishes and flavors. So that really gives her kind of like an interesting kind of like flavor profile. So like there's a spicy peanut shaved Brussels sprout salad that sounds amazing. And I needed that like yesterday. And it's really just the tip of the iceberg. And
Totally.
it's full of like fun flavor combinations.
Fun flavor combinations. And also she gives helpful tips on like meal planning and like just not taking it all too seriously. She
Right.
just wants you to be able to cook for yourself, which I just had her on the podcast. The episode will be out in the new year. And she has a really great, she's like, I didn't cook before I started doing all this. She's like, I was known as somebody who could burn water. And so I love when someone writes a cookbook who has a past like that, because they are
Right.
really giving you in-depth instructions on how to make it easy. And when I say in-depth, I don't mean long. I mean, they're breaking it down and making it digestible. She also has, babe, that's where that individual chocolate chip cookie was that I made us last week.
Oh, nice.
So she's got a recipe in here where you can make, it's literally a recipe that makes 2 chocolate chip cookies, and I am here for it.
Perfect.
And then I think today I'm going to try and make a pistachio date cookie that she has in here as well.
Delish.
So lots of fun stuff in The Peaceful Kitchen by Catherine Perez. That's number 3. Again, a hardcover book. And she'll be on the podcast. That episode will come out later in 2025, or probably earlier in 2025. Number 2. Ooh. This is No Bake Vegan Desserts by Christina Leopold. She's addicted to dates on Instagram. I love her Instagram. She was on the podcast to talk about No Bake Vegan Desserts. It's just full of all the good stuff and easy stuff to make, because it's no bake. So usually you're just pouring something and it's setting, and you're mixing, pouring, it's setting, or it has to freeze in the freezer or something like that. But you don't have to bake anything, so you don't have to turn your oven on. And she's just she's a trained chef, and she got it together and has made all of these irresistible desserts in this book. And on her Addicted to Dates at addicteddates.com or on Instagram, she is like the tiramisu queen. Like lemon tiramisu, strawberry tiramisu, passion fruit tiramisu, like classic tiramisu. Like she is the queen of it. And of course, there's one in the No Bake Vegan Desserts cookbook as well. So go back and listen to her episode if you want, or just buy the book for somebody you know who would love No Bake Vegan Desserts.
Excellent. That's number 2. And that brings us to number uno. We've got Big Vegan Flavor by Nisha Vora. So stunner of a book, both obsessed with, and it's big. It's vegan
actually
flavor
big.
is actually
it's
big. Hardcover. It could also be like a vegan encyclopedia. Dishes like miso butter seared king oyster scallops will teach you how to brine plants, which is something you're kind of seeing more and more from like vegan chefs, is like those kind of oyster mushrooms and like you know. So she also has like a chai spice custard tart with mango that show kind of those big swings and big flavor swings.
So gorgeous. It's like these like thinly sliced mangoes fanned out. There's a pistachio mint pesto I've been wanting to make from there. So many great dishes, and really just at first I saw the book and I was I mean, I saw it, I got it, and I was like, well, this is just ridiculous. I was like, who needs this big book like this? This can't have, like, who needs to write this? Who does this? And then I opened it and I was like, this woman's a genius. I guess that's maybe the projection jealous side of my brain coming out. Like, how dare, who needs a book this big? And then I open it and I'm like, oh, she's brilliant. And then just having her on, that episode came out last week, so you had an opportunity to listen to it. But she's just so approachable with how she's being thoughtful about food for everybody, and she really just wants people to have a good experience with vegan food. So she's talking about the flavor of it, and the textures. Like, she really is thinking about the elements that make a delicious vegan dish, and she gives you ways to play with your food in the book and different combinations and things like that. But again, the big thing is this is a big book, like huge. So it makes a really great gift. Like whoever you give it to is going to be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I hope my shelf can hold this book.
Truly.
Like I could use it. I might use it, take it on a road with me, use it to work out with as weights in my room. So there you have it. This season, we have given you a deep dive on some previous episodes into some vegan holiday cookbooks.
Yeah, more hopeful. We gave you some holiday inspiration with a look into what we will be cooking up in the kitchen this holiday season.
And maybe there is someone in your life who will get excited to receive one of our picks as a holiday gift. I know I would be elated if that big vegan flavor by Nisha popped up under the tree for me, honey. We are including links to all of the books we mentioned in this episode in the show notes for easy shopping if that's helpful for you.
Yes, and we are including links to all the cookie recipes and some of the savor recipes we mentioned at keeponcookin.com. So please be sure to check out the website and links in the show notes for all those recipes too as you navigate your holiday menus.
Well, another year is coming to a close, and we are grateful for all of you for continuing to support the Keep on Cooking podcast. We started this about 4 years ago, and it's been the little engine that could, I must say. I continue to be inspired with each interview with an author and every solo sit down I have flipping through a book. I read all of the recipes out loud so that you at home, dear listener, can really get an idea of what is in each book before you purchase it. And having the authors on to give us the stories behind the recipes is very special to me. Thank you for coming along with me for this ride.
Yes, we are wrapping this up in a little Christmas bow for you to simply say, we love you. We are in this together as we look into the new year, and we will continue to be here to talk about vegan cookbooks and the love and joy we find around our family table, not just at Christmas, but all year long.
That's right. David and I find the kitchen table to be one of our favorite places, which is funny because we don't technically have one in our new home. And it was one of the hardest things to let go of in our move. We made a big choice. When we got this apartment, it wouldn't fit, and we decided to get rid of the kitchen table. But we've created our family table even without the physical table. And day after day, we are grateful for that moment we have during the day to sit, eat mindfully, and connect with one another. So from our family to yours, may you gather around the table to connect, share love and joy, and find some common ground this holiday season amidst the chaos. Keep on cooking, and remember, it's nice to be nice. Merry Christmas!
Thank you so much for listening. We'd be so grateful if you would rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. It really does help us.
Yes, thank you so much. And don't forget to check out keeponcookin.com for all of the latest in recipes and Keep On Cooking updates. This has been a Muzzy Cat production.